But I can tell you that there's been a back and forth between us and parties. We do have a draft framework on the table to engage all parties in the GNU, having spoken to everybody. We think now there are bases for us to have an agreement with everyone, not only with the DA, but everybody in the GNU and even beyond those who agree with us. The thorny issue in terms of the budget have been the question of VAT. And we have always argued as the ANC that right from the onset, when Treasury came up with 2%, we did not agree. We did not agree, but we ran out of options in terms of what we need to do, except to cushion us to have a 0% intervention, which is not permanent. As our economic situation increases, it not increases, our economic situation is perfected. This 0% is not permanent, will be withdrawn. And then also, there's a whole lot of other things on the basket that are being addressed going forward. Even the spending, those issues, President put them long before us that they need to be addressed. The DA raises that particular issue. We say, but it has already been addressed. Some of the issues that have been addressed do not belong to the budget now. We need to engage on them, but people want agreement that there should be guarantees that these matters will be addressed, and so on. They raise issues of devolution and all of that. We are addressing the question of devolution in terms of government in the rail policy, and so on. There's been overzealousness to say that ANC have reached an agreement with the DA. We don't have an agreement. We have been engaging on their issues that they've put across. But to suggest that there is an agreement between us and them is not correct. We have been engaging everybody in the GNU, including the DA. DA have had a catalog of issues, and they shift from time to time from one position to the other. And it's difficult when you are in negotiations and people leak to the media. And then there is Gulam and so on in the mix of negotiations. It now polarizes the negotiation. We need to pass the budget for the sake of South Africa, but at the same time, we need to be alive and talk to others. And that is what we are clear as the ANC. We are the largest party. We need to talk to others and all of that. It's not really concessions. It's about what has the minister presented before us. And that we think that does not address most of the concerns that people have raised in their political parties. So that's why we've been open with everyone and to engage. And we hope that we will find a solution with everyone and we'll be able to pass the budget and follow up on the concerns that other political parties, including those who are not in the GNU, have actually raised, which I think by early hours of this morning and late last night, in our engagement, I believe that we are moving close to each other. So that closeness will then be consolidated into an agreement because this is our first budget of the GNU that we need to pass. And then what that agreement will entail is going to be important for everyone to have an oversight of it and then agree on the way forward. Newsroom, I've answered the question. DA have raised a whole lot of issues, and sometimes they are confusing. Who's raising the issues? I can't deal with faceless sources. A document is leaked. We don't deal with Mzagazaka. We can only deal with what is submitted to us in terms of the discussions. And that is submitted to us in terms of the DA, you all know what it is. Dissolution, spending and all of those things, Operation Vulindlela, all of those matters are not things that can make us not to pass the budget. As the ANC, from where we stand, those are not the issues that can make us not to pass. 0.5%, we move from 2% to 0.5%, but over and above that, this is not a permanent feature of our budget. Okay? We agree that we're not going to borrow. There are issues in terms of spending that they are raising. These are matters that we believe that should be discussed going forward between us and everyone going forward. What are ANC compromises? We agree with the budget, and there are issues with regard to VAT. That has become the major issue, and we have put across solutions in relation to what must happen around that, and we are dealing with that matter with everyone else in terms of this particular issue in the process of discussions and negotiations. There are parties who said to us it's a no-no. We will not support anything with VAT and so on. Now, you can't discuss with people who just come with one issue. And then the rest, you ask, where do you stand? There is no comprehensive position on their part, but we're talking to everyone. And we're confident that at the end of the day, the budget will pass. If people come with political agendas that they want to be seen to be doing things in a different manner, it will affect the GNU in the long term, and that's what we need to understand. But as the ANC, we have shown commitment. We are working with everybody, and to find a solution to the matters of the budget. I am not privy at the present moment to talk about the inner details of the negotiations. What other parties have raised with us and so on, it will be disingenuous on our part and negotiating in bad faith. You talk to people and then thereafter you call the press conference and announce who said what and all of that. So we are moving closer to one another and with a full understanding that we need to listen to one another going forward for the sake of the country. We engaged in this GNU, as I conclude, not for ourselves, but for national interest and putting people first. And that's what is important, that everyone need to then understand.